This is Capital's Tokyo Report with Eric Kawa.
Hello, day 13 of the Tokyo Olympic Games. Few days to wrap up things and actions are still unfolding. The BBC's Maz Farookhi is set for today's highlight. Hello, Maz.
Hello, Eric.
So, what's the latest so far in Tokyo?
Well, I think the big shock in terms of the track and field today is the men's 110-metre hurdles final. We were expecting the reigning world champion Grant Holloway of the USA to dominate and take gold, but he was pipped on the line by Jamaica's Hansel Parchment, who unexpectedly took gold. We always talk about what a technical race the 110-metre hurdles is, but he timed his dip on the finish line to perfection to just take gold. His winning time was 13.04 seconds. Grant Holloway in silver, 13.09. So really very little to separate them. Jamaica picked up bronze as well. Ronald Levy with a time of 13.10. So only 1/1000th of a second behind Grant Holloway. So really impressive gold medal for Jamaica, but really unexpected. And we've also been celebrating a Zambia bronze medal in the field events in the Tokyo Stadium as well. Uji Fabrice Zango winning bronze in the men's triple jump final with a distance he jumped of 17.47 metres. It makes Burkina Faso the 100th country to get an Olympic medal. He finished in that bronze medal spot behind Portugal's Pedro Peixoto and China's Yangming Zhu.
Great highlights indeed, and many news there for Africa, but many lined up activities for today, Maz. Can you please tell us what we should be looking forward to for the rest of the day?
The big race really I'm looking forward to in terms of the track and field events is certainly the men's 400-metre final. We've seen some great races over that distance, haven't we, the last couple of days? 2 world records as well in the women's 400-metre hurdles and before that on Tuesday in the men's 400-metre hurdles. So we know that this track in Tokyo is a really quick one, and all being well, maybe we could see some quick times again in this men's 400-metre flat, final. The big favourite going into this, the world champion, the man in great form who looked really impressive through the rounds is Ben Gardner of the Bahamas. So certainly listen out for him. I think he is going to be really tough to beat. But it's really great to see the gold medalist from 2012, Karani James, back in some kind of form and some fitness as well. He obviously took the silver medal in 2016 behind Wade van Niekerk, who unfortunately didn't make the final this time round 5 years on. We know he's been suffering with injury. But Karani James himself has really been through some difficult times in the last 3 years. He had an undiagnosed autoimmune condition that was really affecting his fitness and his training for the last couple of years. He couldn't really understand why it was that he was really struggling with races. He's managed to get that diagnosed. It's now back under control. He's back to some kind of fitness and back in medal contention. I think he could push Ben Gardner and potentially get onto the podium, but Ben Gardner's certainly the big favourite in this race, and I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of time he might be able to run.
Definitely, we're also looking forward to that. But Maz, now let's talk about Sierra Leone. Bringing you back home to our country, we had a couple of athletes representing in this year's Olympics, just as the last one. What are the prospects of Sierra Leonean athletes?
Well, it's obviously, as you say, no medal contention today, and they obviously participated and did quite well, but weren't able to get to some of those latter stages. I think it's been a difficult Olympics, a difficult build-up for a lot of these athletes, including for a lot of these African athletes and Sierra Leone athletes as well, in terms of not being able to compete in some of these events worldwide. They haven't been able to travel, their training has been disrupted. So again, we now all point to, don't we, the fact that it's only a 3-year cycle now to Paris. And I think a lot of the athletes who potentially were thinking, do I continue? Do I push on again for another Olympic Games? Is that motivation there for me to go and undo it? Because it's only 3 years to wait rather than 4, I think a lot of them have decided to really go on and try and continue that journey, and all being well, get to Paris in 3 years' time.
All right, before we end, Maz, more medals expected for today. How many are we talking about?
Well, in total, we are talking about 27 gold medals today on day 13. So busy day. We've touched on some of the ones in the athletics already. We've got some track cycling underway as well. There was another boxing gold for the Russian Olympic Committee. They beat USA in that final. It's now 17 years, can you believe, since the USA won a boxing gold at the Olympics, which I thought was an amazing stat when I read that. And a bit of history in the canoe sprint today. Not a sport that we normally talk very much about, but Lisa Carrington, who's been so dominant in the canoe sprint in this discipline the last few years, winning another gold. She's now got 6 Olympic medals, which is an absolutely astonishing achievement, makes her the most successful sports person from her country. So plenty else to look forward to. Hockey as well, the men's gold medal match between Australia and Belgium, which is going to be a very exciting one. Australia obviously very, very good at the sport. Belgium, I believe, the world number 1. So plenty to look forward to away from the track and field. But for me, that 400 metre final is really the big highlight for me for the rest of the day.
All right, big highlight indeed. Many thanks to you, Maz Farookhi. We appreciate having you all the time for the updates.
Thank you, Eric.
Yeah, and that's the BBC's Maz Farookhi keeping us up to date with the latest in the Tokyo Olympic Games. The Capital's Tokyo Report is brought to you in partnership with the BBC World Service. I am Eric Kawa.
This is Capital's Tokyo Report.